Well, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Jay, and I am coming to you from Cornerstone Church, and we are here today to do our Saturday Digging Deeper devotional. And so this week we're digging deeper into Romans chapter 1, verse 2, where we're talking about the long game God. And in Romans 1:2, Paul the Apostle writes that in times past, God spoke and revealed Jesus Christ to be the Messiah through the Old Testament prophets. And so we've been looking this week into the Old Testament prophets and prophecies about Jesus or about Messiah. And so we've talked for the last couple of times we've gotten together here about prophecies that Jesus fulfilled. So we're going to continue. We're going to pick it up in Deuteronomy 18:15, where Moses writes that God will raise up a prophet like him from among the Israelites. And the fulfillment of that comes in Acts chapter 3, verse 22 and 23, where Peter, in preaching, is saying that Jesus is the prophet like Moses. There's also prophecies about the Messiah coming and having a ministry of miracles. In Isaiah 35, 5 through 6, Isaiah says that the Messiah will open the eyes of the blind and cause the lame to leap. And again, we see this all through the Gospels where Jesus has an extravagant healing ministry. We hear about the triumphal entry in Zechariah 9:9, where Zechariah writes that your king, O Jerusalem, will come riding to you on the colt of the foal of a donkey. And in Matthew 21, 5 through 9, in fact, in all the Gospels, you see Jesus riding into town on the colt, the foal of a donkey. And in fact, Jesus actually fulfills this prophecy through a very intricate prophetic word that he gives to his disciples, telling them where to find this colt and how to bring it to him. We see that the Messiah is prophesied to be betrayed by a friend for 30 pieces of silver in Psalm 41:9 and Zechariah 11:12 and 13. The betrayal of Judas Iscariot is prophesied hundreds of years in advance. Isaiah 53, 3 through 7 tells us that the Messiah will be despised and rejected. And Psalm 22, 16 through 18 tells us that the Messiah's hands and feet will be pierced and his garments will be divided by casting lots. And we see this fulfilled in John 19 and John 20. All right, that's what I have for you today. Until we meet again, God bless you and be at peace.